Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Subject of my vlog today is going broke slowly in the Philippines, eliminating wasteful spending habits. Before I get started, let me welcome my new viewers and new subscribers. Thank you so much for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of my channel. It's truly been amazing. I'll never take that for granted. You know, when I first started coming to the Philippines, I spent a lot of money. And when I look back on it, a lot of it was wasteful spending. I didn't know any better. And let's face it, a lot of us come to the Philippines so that our retirement money, our savings can stretch a little bit further. And we'll eliminate that advantage when we're out here just setting fire to our money, throwing it in the garbage. So I wanted to share some things that I've learned over my 12 years on and off here that's helped me to keep more of those pesos in my pocket, because you can go broke slowly over here and you don't want to do that. Money is important anywhere you go. Let's face it. It's not the beginning and ending of everything, but it gives you a lot of freedom, peace of mind, and that's what we want over here. So let's get started. This is just 10 things I came up with, but there's more. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. I'm not going to talk about vices. That's none of my business. All right. That's something that, you just have to come to agreement with yourself as far as your spending on those things. But the first thing is remittance fees. You can spend a lot of money every month, which I did on remittance fees. One of the first things that I would suggest you do when you decide to relocate to the Philippines is to open up a bank account. It's very important over here. It's going to help you a whole lot. And I'll get back to it. But opening up a bank account is really simple. They usually ask for 2 forms of ID. I gave them my passport, my driver's license. Just make sure that the names match and the signatures are about the same. But remittance fees. Now, what I usually do is I go ahead and transfer everything I need at one time. I didn't do that before. So I get hit with remittance fee one time a month, and that's it. But I found myself running back and forth to the ATM machine, the remittance services like Western Union and all those places, 10, 15 times a month. It's a lot of money I was wasting. And I see guys still do that. Go ahead and do it one time. That way it's easier for you to track your money. And then because you got that bank account, you can go ahead and put the money in the bank account. Or you can just do a wire-to-wire transfer like I do from one bank to the other. Some people use Western Union to do it. Either way it goes, you're going to pay a fee. You're going to pay the remittance fee up front, and then you're going to pay on the back end with the exchange rate. But remittance fees will run you dry, guys, if you're not careful. So do that. That's my suggestion. Get a service, get a bank that you can send it all over that you're going to need for one time. Running back and forth to those places, waiting in line, paying that fee, it's a waste of time and money. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the Philippine tax for foreigners. People call it the skin tax, but it's real over here. And the way you can avoid paying that, because you're going to pay a lot of money. I don't haggle with people over here. If I, walk into it blindly, and because I've been over here long enough to get a general idea of how much stuff costs. If they're charging me a little bit more, I'm not going to haggle with them. But if you're doing that constantly over the course of a month, you're going to waste a lot of money, especially when you go someplace where the prices aren't clearly marked for the goods and services or the merchandise. So to avoid that, that's what you do. You go to a place like the grocery store, the price is clearly marked on there. Wherever you go, the furniture place, you're going to buy your phone where the prices are clearly marked, because Philippines is a great source of micro and macro businesses. So you're going to go to a lot of these mom and pop places that there's no price on there. and they're going to see you, and they think that you can afford that extra, and they're going to charge you for it. So to avoid that, either send your girlfriend in, or husband, or whatever it is, or go somewhere where the prices are clearly marked. The next thing I'm going to talk about is always buy top of the line brands and merchandise over here and services. You get what you pay for in the Philippines. A lot of times we have a tendency to want to go cheap over here because it's the Philippines. This is the worst place in the world to be cheap. Don't try to be cheap over here. It's going to cost you a whole lot more than go ahead and paying up front for the best. I'm paying for that right now. As a matter of fact, two of the things I'm talking to you about, I'm violating right now. And the first one is that when Rock Engineering built this house, they was the top of the line over here. I hired them. You see what they did to my house. Now the gate, because I got in a hurry and couldn't wait, because I felt naked. Everybody has a gate over here. It's for security. It's for privacy. She went out and got one of her friends, and all it cost me. I'm already over budget. Now her brother's been fully vaccinated. He's a top of the line. He's like Dante. He's top of the line. He's a master carpenter. But now we got to hire him. I got to pay extra money for him to come over here, which he's here now. And I'm going to do a video and show you the progress that they made. They did, because he's here, they did more in one day than they do in a whole week. But it's going to cost me money and everything like that, extra money. Because I tried to jackleg it. I didn't. But, so I always buy top of the line, quality merchandise, services over here. Whether it's a lawyer, a builder, doctor, pay that extra, man, up front, because if not, you're going to eventually pay anyway. You get what you pay for over here. Don't be cheap in the Philippines. That kind of goes into the next one that I'm violating. You got to practice patience over here. If you don't, it's going to cost you. Filipino time is real. People over here, they move at their own pace. They do things when they're going to get ready to do it. You get in a hurry over here, it's going to cost you. That's what happened with my gate. I should have just waited. Rock Engineering would eventually been able to fix my gate. But I got in a hurry. And I'm wasting money now. I'm literally throwing money out the window that I'm going to need somewhere down the line. I don't have that kind of money, guys. And you don't either. Most of the viewers and subscribers don't have that kind of money. You got to practice patience over here. Filipino time is real. Wait for it a lot of times. Are you going to pay? You're going to end up choosing the wrong person to do the job, choosing the wrong merchandise, and you have to go back and get it again, and it's going to cost you. So, patience. Another way to save money is, I know a lot of people, when they initially moved to the Philippines, they moved around Expat Alley. And I would suggest you do that anyway, especially if you've never been here before. You don't know your way around. You try to get your feet wet. But when you live in these cities, you have a tendency, things are going to cost more anyway in the city than they will. And the bigger the city, the more it's going to cost. But stay away from the business districts when you're trying to get an apartment. Because the Holy Trilogy over here is going to cost you more in the big cities. The food, the rent, the utilities. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Dumaguete. You can have all the qualities of Dumaguete without actually living in Dumaguete. You can live in Darwin, Zamboanguita, Valencia, right outside Dumaguete. Or go the other way, Tanhai. It's a few places you can go to. Cebuland, where you're not right there in the city, but you're close enough to enjoy all the fruits of Dumaguete. And your rent's going to be cheaper. Your food's going to be cheaper. Everything's going to be a lot cheaper. I met a guy in Cebu. I lived in Cebu for 2 years. I met a guy in Cebu here recently during the typhoon. One of my subscribers, by the way, he's paying 40,000 pesos a month for his rent. That's a lot. Now, he's got a beautiful place, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condominium, brand new condominium, but it's just him and his wife. I'm not counting his money. I'm not, telling him how to live. But I lived in Cebu for 2 years. He could rent a nice house for half of that. And it goes back to being patient, man. Look around, shop around. But, yeah, stay away from that city proper, right there in the business districts of these places. Try to find a little city, on the outskirts. It's going to save you a whole lot of money. The next one I'm going to talk about, since I'm on Cebu, when you live in these expat alley cities, man, you spend a lot of money on taxis and grabs. Initially, you may have to, but I'm going to tell you, as soon as you can, buy you a scooter. And if you don't want to drive, then maybe your girlfriend, you can have, get her to drive. Because the fare that you're going to spend on these taxis and grabs, at the end of the month, it's a scooter payment. And then over the course of a year, you've already bought you a scooter. Because when you live in these cities, man, it just seems like you always got to go somewhere. And then when you go there, you pay to go there, you're going to pay to come back. Because a lot of people, even though now in Cebu and Manila, they've got these new jeepneys, but they don't have enough of them really to where you're going to get one every single time. And some of us don't want to ride in the jeepney. It's tight quarters, guys. So you're going to take that taxi, you're going to take that grab. It's convenient, but so is a scooter. And you're going to learn your way around the city better when you're driving or you're on the back of a motorcycle than if somebody else is driving you in a taxi, in that backseat of that taxi or that grab, man. It's just so expensive. The next thing I'm going to talk about is have a good firm no in your vocabulary over here. Listen, you can't help everybody over here. And even if you could, you're going to go broke slow trying. Doesn't mean don't give back. There's a lot of ways you can give back. Patronize the mom and pop businesses here, which is a big one. But trying to give to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's got their hand out in the street over here, or in her family, or even her, see, a good firm no is going to help you. It's going to save you a lot of money over the long run. I've got a whole video on this. No is the default word in the Philippines because Filipinos, they don't have a problem with the word no. Listen to me, guys. They don't have a problem with it. We have a problem with it because we're trying to people please. We're trying to fit in. We don't ever want to say no. Well, you better get no in your vocabulary. They're used to hearing it. It's no problem to them. Plus, you don't know the legitimate people out here who are panhandling from the drug addicts, from the criminal gangs. You don't know the difference. And you'll never know the difference. So have a firm no in your vocabulary. The next one I'm going to talk about, and you may think, oh, I'm not going to fall into this one, but idle mind is a devil's workshop, man. Don't try to get rich quick over here. There's a lot of multi-level marketing opportunities, a lot of investment opportunities over here. Just like you can go broke slowly over here, you can get rich slowly over here. And the best way to do that is to save money. But all of this, Bitcoins and all this stuff over here in the Philippines, don't do it. This Axie thing that started out like a wildfire, man, it's really cooled down. People have lost a lot of money. The investors, not the scholars, but they're not earning the money they used to earn because it's gone south like this. Will it ever come back? I don't know, but you'll never get that money back you've lost. You may earn some more, but we had an investment panel a couple of weeks ago. It was a great panel, one of the best I've had. A lot of times you just got to stay in it. You lose when you get out. But when you're involved in stuff like that in the Philippines, it creates stress. It creates worry. You don't want to do that. We're trying to get away from that. Well, we're here, we're relaxing, we're rejuvenating, we're enjoying our silver years and our golden years. We're over here trying to looking at the checking every day to see how much it's growing. All you don't want to do that, especially over here. So many multi-level marketing opportunities. Stay away from that stuff. Get rich slowly over here. Save your money. You'll be able to do that. Let me check my list and see if I missed anything. Oh, yeah, I've got 2 more things to talk about, guys. I'm sorry. But it's early over here, man. Wash your own clothes over here. Go out and buy you a nice wash machine for about 10,000 pesos. A modern one. Mine's is in front of me. You're going to thank me later. The laundry's over here through the course of a month, man. You're going to be spending a lot of money, okay? And it's going to be hard for you initially to find a good laundromat anyway that's going to clean your clothes the way you used to having them clean, because they're going to put the whites in with the colors, and they're going to bleach your colors, and you're going to end up missing socks and different things like that. Go on out and spend you $200 on a nice wash machine that's going to wash, spin, and rinse, and then either have her hang them outside or you hang them outside. You're going to save a lot of money. Otherwise, you're throwing money away. The clothes start shrinking, and I'm just saying, it's hard to find a good laundromat over here, guys. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, and of course there's many more, but I only have time on these videos for a certain amount of information. If you have a tip for us, put it in the comments. But buy your food as much as you can from the wet markets over here. They got fresh fruits and vegetables, seafood, chicken, pork, and you can buy as little as you need or as much as you can afford. It's different from the grocery store where you may have to buy the whole pack of beans. Well, if you go to the wet market, you can buy just what you need for that meal. I've got a small refrigerator. I didn't pay $300 for it. I don't pay over $300 for anything. Only my air conditioning right there did I spend over $300. That split air unit. Altogether, it was, let's see, $600. Well, not quite $600. Excuse me. Because it's different over here. I don't have a freezer full of garbage in my refrigerator over here. We've got water, which is called Too Big over here. Probably some vegetables down below, some cold drinks at the top, maybe some hot dogs or something like that. That's it. But most of the time, we go to the wet market every day or every other day. It's going to save you a lot of money. And they got just homegrown stuff, man. It's a way of giving back. Remember, you're patronizing these micro and macro businesses over here. So there's just some ways that you can save money over here to keep more of those pesos in your pocket, man, because you can go into peso hell over here. Throwing away a lot of money, wasting a lot of money. This is on top of the most, your greatest expense. We talked about that already. I'm not going to talk about that. This is on top of your vices. It's none of my business. These are some things that you can use to keep that money in your pocket, to avoid going broke slowly over in the Philippines and having to pack it up and go home. A lot of this stuff, man, this wasteful spending can be avoided if you only knew what to do. And that's what this video is about. Because when I got over here, I had no idea what I was doing. And I threw away a lot of money. I might as well just put it on the grill and burned it up. So if you're in America, thank you for stopping by. Until I get my signal on, I have no idea what time these videos are going to post. So whether you're getting up or going to bed, if you see somebody less fortunate, help them if you can. Doesn't always have to be money. If you're in the Philippines, it's early. It's not even 6 o'clock yet. I got up early. I'm going to go and ride my bike. Later on, we're going to have the Sunshine Shows, Moonshine Shows happy hour. it's hit and miss now. One of my neighbors is allowing me to use her Wi-Fi to do the show because we like connecting with the audience. And we're not able to do that now because his globe is down and my PODT is down. But we have the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help over here. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody, I promise you. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.